Hi guys. I just got rained on, and I look at my hair in the rain. Like, how disrespectful. Anyway, let's get back to this series about being an it girl and not freaking wanting to be. Let's talk about that, okay? So this is part 2, okay? If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Zayna, and I literally teach women, or actually remind them, that they actually do want to live. And I do this by helping them to restore their mind and their bodies, okay? So we're gonna do a part 2. This is the part 2. If you didn't see part 1, what are you doing? Okay? If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? I cannot believe the rain just disrespected my hair like this. Disrespect. Look at that. And it's still damp and wet. Anyway, focus. So remember I told you guys I help women, right? Realize that they do still want to live. And I do this by restoring their mind and their body, right? Okay? So let's talk about a situation where I had a little bit of a conniption. I just finished work, so I'm trying to like decompress and change my shoes out and all that stuff. So if you see me moving around and cleaning stuff, this is my daily routine. So there was a time and a point. Remember, don't get distracted, okay? We're still also talking about being the it girl and not wanting to be the it girl, okay? So we only talk about my situation. So I was going to a college in upstate New York, right? Dorms, everything, guys, girls, parties, all the things, right? So I had met this girl, and we were cool, but we weren't like BFFs, but we were cool, right? So I had already survived like the first semester, no, like 3 semesters at that college, right? So everything was good. So, you know, when you had to re-up your semester, you have to choose a roommate, this, that, and the third. And I had already told one person that I was like, hey, we can still be, no, I had told my current roommate that we could still continue to be roommates, because I didn't have no issues with her, right? And at that time, my mom was always telling me, Dana, do not room with your friends, because if you and your friend got beef, now the rooming situation is messed up, and you're gonna be uncomfortable. Basically, you're gonna freaking be uncomfortable. So I was like, all right, mommy, you right. But you know, when your parents talk to you, you don't really put it together. You kind of just be like, okay, mom, whatever, right? So I had already established it with the office that I wanted to keep my roommate. Stay focused, right? So we get back to the campus. I think we had like 2 or 3 weeks off. We get back to the campus. My mom and my stepfather drive me back to campus, right, with all my stuff. Bruh, I come in the room that they assigned me, and I have a new roommate. So my mom goes, okay, well, you changed roommates. Okay, there's a new person in the room. So I was like, who's in the room? Because I told them that I wanted to keep my same roommate. It was very cordial, very whatever. So then I walk in the room. Who do I see? Homegirl that I'm not like this with, right? And we talk here and there, but we didn't have like a serious like friendship. With me, friendship is not like candy. I don't hand it out to everybody, and some people might get offended about that, but to me, friendship is not, you don't hand out friendship like candy, right? I have to know you for a little bit before I consider you my friend. So I get to the room and I see homegirl sitting there, and I said, let's name her Tanisha. We're gonna name her Tanisha. So I said, hey Tanisha, what you doing in here? She was like, yeah, me and you are roommates now. I said, but how? Because I said, not how, right? Because I had to hold my tongue, because I wanted to hear what she was going to say, because I knew the process of keeping a roommate. And when you want to change roommates, not only do you have to change roommates, but both signatures have to be on the document, and IDs and verification needs to be verified by the office, meaning both parties need to bring in certain verification documents to show this is who I am, this is who I'm on the room with, here's my signature. So I said, how, girl, tell me. Trying not to make it obvious. Homegirl goes, yeah, I just went to the office and I told them that I wanted to be your roommate. I was like, yeah? She's like, yeah. I was like, huh. Okay. Right? So mommy starts moving my stuff in. My mother noticed the look on my face. She's like, what's wrong? I said, nothing, mama. They know what's wrong. And I said, nothing, mommy. So she's like, what's wrong? So I said, mama, this girl, me and her are not roommates, and I know the process to get a new roommate, and for some reason she bypassed all of that. So my mom was like, we'll tackle that another time, let's just get you situated. So I said, okay. I go back to the car and I'm getting things out to bring back into the room with my mom. So I guess she started feeling guilty because I started getting real quiet. I guess she started feeling guilty, and she was like, all right, I gotta tell you. And I said, what's up? She was like, when you wasn't looking, I took your ID and I made a copy of your social security and I brought it to the office and I told them that you couldn't sign the documents right now, and but you allow me to bring all your stuff to the office because you were very busy and you had things to do, and they allowed it and they let me sign for myself, and they said that they understood that you were busy, so now we're roommates and I'm so sorry. And she was like, by the way, I just wanted to be with the it girl, like, because everybody's talking about how you're always so pretty, how you always go to class all dressed up, like you're just always dressed up and you're that girl. And she was like, you don't even wear name brand. And she's like, I've been trying to figure out for the longest, like, how are you the girl that everybody's talking about, that's the it girl, and you don't even wear name brand stuff? And she was like, I just wanted to get to know you better. I was like, now I didn't make that expression in front of her, but my brain was doing it, and I was like, it's cool, girl, I totally understand. And I gave her a hug, because let me tell you something, the worst thing that you can do is show how you really feel in front of the person that you're about to live with. Okay? So I was so gullible at the time. I said, she already did it, it is what it is, I'm just gonna live with the girl. And then it got worse. When I tell you, I keep running into this, oh, you're the it girl. I don't want to be no freaking it girl. I want to be the girl that's minding her business and elevating herself, right? Y'all, when I tell y'all it got worse, it got worse. If you want to hear another part of the story, I'll tell you. I don't want to make this too long, but like, if you're like me and you always happen to be the freaking it girl, when you simply just trying to be yourself and elevate yourself, you're not alone. You're not alone. Some people bask in the fact that they're the it girl, and I'm like, bruh, I just want to go home and sit on my couch and eat popcorn and watch Netflix and like do my skincare. Like, I don't want to be nobody it girl for nothing. I just want to mind my business. That's all, right? But it's like, for some reason, it keeps blowing up in my face, and it's like, I don't know if that's God trying to tell me, like, you might not see who you are, but others see who you are. Until you see who you are, I'm gonna keep running people into that sees who you are, so that you can finally see who you are. Did that make any sense to anybody? I hope it did. But now the question is, like, what would make her do that, right? What would make you go so far to the point where you feel like you got to take somebody's personal documents and force them into being your roommate, even though there was no discussion about it, right? Her mind. I'm so curious about this girl. Everybody keeps talking about this pretty girl who is always so dressed up but doesn't wear any name brand, but literally has a name for herself already, and she's only been here for 3 semesters. She's been there longer, okay? I just got there. So it was just, I don't know. But like I said, it was her mind. Like, I need to know who this girl is by any means necessary. That's crazy. Any means necessary. Instead of you doing it in a natural way, trying to build a friendship with me, you took it. What would make you want to take a friendship and try to make it your own and mold it into your own? Your mind. This fear of missing out on the girl that everybody keeps saying is so cute, and she wears all these cute and fun clothes, and it's not even name brand. You feel like you're missing out. That's a mental thing. That's something you got to work on. You got to work on having people gravitate towards you naturally instead of pulling people in and locking them in until they like you. So not only did I have her as my roommate, now I'm forced into getting to know you. And that's not how a friendship starts with me. Because once you start a friendship like that with me, I got to watch you. And my whole semester with her, I spent watching her, seeing how she moved, locking up my personal documents so that she couldn't get to it. You literally built an untrustful relationship with me, and that was okay with you. That was okay with you. That's why I help women get back to themselves, starting with their mind. You do not have to force a friendship. People will gravitate towards you. Literally. Okay? So, I love y'all. Stay blessed. Bye.